Today we are going to start the 3D modeling in Blender. So if you open the Blender first time, you will see something like that. If you are using the 3.4.1 variant, you will see something like that. There you will see different options, different windows, and different uh, features. So if you open it first time and this window will here, you just click here general. So in the if you in the Blender we can do different tasks. We can do 3D animation. We can do VFX and video editing. So first click on the general because we are going to use it in the general mode. Okay, so when you click on general, you will see something like that. Then there we have a different windows, different environments. We can work in layout, modeling, UV editing, texture, rendering, composing thing different interface. Okay, so this is the first tutorial. This is the day zero tutorial of the Blender. So I'm not going to talk about anything. From the start, we will starting the 3D modeling. We will model something, and in the I search about the hammer, and we have the different design of the hammer. So we will start doing it from the start, and when we come to an editor or come to a feature, then I will going to explain it. I am not going to telling you how can you zoom in, zoom out, how can you change the different windows. When we will have a contact with something, then I will explain it to you. Okay, so let me explain something. If I open the paint, we have basic shapes. We have a shape of a rectangle, we have a shape of cube, we have a shape of the circle. These are the basic shapes. So basically in the Blender and basically in the general concept, everything is uh, when everything is we divide a design. uh, we divide a design, and the design is made with these basic shapes. So, for example, a human face, if you see it, if you see a human face, it's basically something circular, but it's not in general, it's not a circle. But if you see a head, a face, it basically a circle. So this is the basic concept in the Blender. We will start the design with the basic shape, and then we will edit it to make a complex shape or any object. So basically for this design, if I am going to open this in the paint, you see here basically what we have here. We have a rectangle like that, and then we have triangle triangle shape like that. Okay, so this is the basic shape. This handle is made with these basic shapes. So that's what we are going to do in the Blender. We will start from the basic shape, a cube, and we will achieve this shape. So how we can do that? Open the Blender. Okay, so here you see a cube. So in this where you see a cube, this window, this editor, we called it 3D viewport. So if you go here in the left, you see here, this is the editor type. Front editor type of this area is 3D viewport. So this is in this area you will work. Uh, you will work. You will have contact with the 3D model in this area, in this whole area. So here by default, when you open the Blender, you will see a cube here, and here you will also see a camera. This is called camera, and this here, this is called light. So if you move in the upper right corner, you see another editor, and this editor, if you move your mouse here, this editor is outliner. So everything you add in here, it will appear here. So this cube is by default added. That's why this name cube is showing here. Okay, so right now we are now in the object mode. There are different type of mode in the Blender. So right now if you select this one and you go here and expand this, you see you have different modes. So right now you are in the object mode, and most of the work we do it in the object mode and edit mode. So this is the shape of the cube, and if we want to edit it, we go here and click on edit mode. So in the Blender, we can use the shortkeys or hotkeys uh, to like make the workflow very fast. But this is the first day tutorial, day zero tutorial. I'm not going to use any type of the hotkeys. So basically, so what we needed, if we observe this thing, what we needed a cube here. We needed a cube here, and then we have a rectangle here. Okay, so we right now we are in the edit mode. And in the edit mode, when you see here the edit mode, we have three selection modes. So basically the first one is the vertex selection. So you can select a vertex, a point. So this cube, it has eight vertex. Okay, and you can select the edge. So if you click the selection mode edge, now you can select the edge of this cube. So this has the four on the top, four on the bottom, and four here. So 12 edges we have here with the cube. And if you click here on the face, this is the face mode. So if you click here on the face mode, now you can select the faces. So this is the top face, and we have a bottom face here. So now I rotated this model using the middle mouse of my keyboard. And you can also rotate the model. If you go here on this corner, you see XYZ, this gizmos. So if you select like right click, left click and select this X, and then you move your mouse, you can rotate it. And if you click on the Y, the left click and then you move your mouse, you can rotate it. And same way, if you click on Z, and you can also rotate it like that. Okay, and now question is how you can zoom in and zoom out. So here you see this. So if you click on it and move your mouse, you can zoom in and zoom out. And there is in this hand, this is used to pan in. So just move your mouse cursor here and click, left click, and you can pan it. Okay, so now I am going to click on X and just rotate it like that. Okay, so now I am going to select the edge mode. Here we click it here on the edge mode, and now we want to achieve this shape. This shape we want to achieve it. Okay, so here I am going to rotate this model like that, and I am going to select the this face selection, and then here we have the tool panel. So this is the select box. This is about the 3D cursor. I will explain you what is the 3D cursor. And here we have this move tool. So if I select this move tool and then I select this face, so now we have three gizmos: X, Y, Z. So you have the X in red and Y in green, and this is blue, Z is blue. So I click on the move tool, then selected this face. Now we have X, Y, Z, three gizmos. And if I left click this one and I drag it in that way, we are dragging this face we are moving this face in the Y direction. Okay, so do this step. So if I click here, now we deselected this face. And if I again select this face, again the move tool will activate it because it is selected. And we can also move like that. Okay. And same way, if you select this top face, we can also move it like that. This is face selection. Make sure you are in the face selection. And here we are moving this top face. And now just move this face like that. Okay. So we also have a tool, we have scale tool, we have transform tool. We can also transform. We have different tools here. I will also talk about these tools, but for right now, just click here on selection box. So you deactivated this move tool. Now move here and you see here a tool loop cut. So here you see a little triangle. That means if you click here, you have different types of the loop cut tool. Basically, what will loop cut tool do? It will add it will add the geometry to this cube. So basically, if I select the edge, you can see how many edges we have here. So if we want an edge here around this whole cube, this tool is used. So I click on loop cut, and when this tool is selected, I move my mouse to cursor to this location. And if I select this, uh, right now you can see a preview. So if I click here, the left click, I will add a loop edge here on this location, and if I move my mouse in the middle, you can see like that. Now I am adding these edges here on this center. So I needed this here on this location. Okay, so what it did, so if I select the selection and click here, you can see it added these edges, a loop cut on this face on and on this side. Okay, and again I am going to select this loop tool and add a other loop here on this location. Okay, so we added these two loops. Then click on selection and unselect this loop tool. Okay, so now we have these two loops here. Next, select the move tool, select this face, make sure you selected the face, and then move tool and select this face and just move it little bit here. So now if you want to see this front, just click on X. Now you seeing this front, and let me rotate the model by clicking on X and then dragging your mouse. And if I drag the bottom face, if I want to see the bottom face, click on the X and drag it like that. Now you can see the face, the bottom face. Now with this move tool selected, and make sure you are in the face mode selection, select this bottom face and then click on the X so you can see it from the front side. So I am just going to move my mouse like that. Now we just drag this face and make it shorter. So again I am going to move this like that, like that. So now we are just using the move tool. So now again I am going to move it like that and select this face and then click on this X. So we want to see the front, and then move my mouse like that. Okay. Again click on X. Just keep practicing these steps. We are not going to like, if you don't practice it, you will not learn something. Just don't sit here and keep seeing this video. Just try to do these things. That's why I am going to repeating these steps again and again and making it very simple. Okay, now we added these loop cuts, and then we just move these up and down. Then again select this and again select the loop cut, and basically we want to add a cut here on the center like that, and just click it to make this cut. Okay, now I am going to move and see these faces. Okay, now select the face tool and make sure your selection is face and click here on the selection box. So deactivate this loop tool. Now select this face, this face, this face. So how you can select this face? Just click the shift on your keyboard and select these faces. And now select the move tool and move these faces like that. Okay. Okay. Now you see you have something which have a lot of boxes and this. Okay. Now you have to go here, change the selection mode to edges and select this edge when the move tool is activated. Now this is the Z, so move this Z like that, and then go and select the bottom edge. This edge selection is activated and move tool is activated, and move your mouse like that. And again select this one and move it little bit lower, and again the bottom and move little bit lower like that. Okay. Now see, did you achieve something like that? Yes, we achieve it. Just this and this what we achieve it. Okay. Now we want to make this side length a little bit bigger. Okay. So how we achieve that? We just move, go to X and rotate the model like that, and then zoom like that, and go to face selection. Press the shift on your keyboard, select this face, select this smaller face and this smaller face, and then zoom out like that. Click here on this X and rotate the model like that, and click here on the move if it's not activated, and select this Y and move it like that. Okay, so now you have something similar to this. Okay, we are not making something perfect, so just try to learn these rules, like how we achieve this shape. Okay, so for the next one, for the next hammer, we have to select a hammer. Which one? Okay, this one. So this is another hammer, the different shape. So we are going to open it in the paint. So basically what we have a cube, but this area is little bit smaller and this area is little bit smaller, and this center area it's little bit has a higher length. So we are going to design something like that. Okay, go to Blender and then go to right now we are in the edit mode, so go to the object mode. So we have something like that. Okay, now this was the default cube and we change the shape to a hammer and the metal part of the hammer. Now if we want to add the this cube, how we can do that? So we are in the object mode. Click here on the add. When you click here on the add, you see different option: the mesh, curve, surface, metaball, text, volume. These are the different objects which we can add in the object mode. So if you go to the mesh, you see a plane, a cube, circle, UV sphere, ICO sphere, cylinder, cone, torus. So basically what we needed a cube. So when we edit the cube, we click on the cube, it will edit on the same location where we have this, previously we have this cube. So why this cube is added in the same location? Because of this 3D cursor. This is here you can see a 3D cursor. So, for example, I don't want this cube to be added in this location. I want to edit it in a different location. How I can achieve that? We click here on this cursor, this 3D cursor, and I want to place this cursor here on this location. When now the location of the cursor is changed in this position. So again, go to select to deactivate this cursor command. Make select it, and now if I added the cube, it will edit in the position of this 3D cursor. Okay, so right now we have this cube here and we want to achieve this shape. Okay, so first of all, I am going to select this object and then go to the edit mode. So when I am in the edit mode, by selecting this cube, everything is selected. So just right click here to deselect this, all of these faces. And now in the selection type, we have the face selection. So select the move tool, select this face and just move this face like that. So we make it bigger by moving its face. Okay. Now I am going to go to the edge loop tool, select this edge loop. We want a edge in the middle. So I add this edge loop in the middle of this cube and then make the selection. Okay. Now go to the face selection mode and here you see a command or a tool scale. So basically this scale tool is used to scale object or face edge smaller or bigger. So if we are in the face selection and then I selected this scale and then I selected this face. Now you see we can scale it in the Z direction, in the Y direction, and in the X direction. So if this is the X, the red is X. So if I click on this X controller and I press it, it's making it shorter in the X direction. If I drag it in that way, it's making it bigger. All right. So just undo it. I undo it by using the Control and C together. Okay. So now we selected the face and we selected the scale tool. And we want to scale this face in the X, Y, and Z in all the direction. You see here a white circle. So if I press it and then drag it, it's making it smaller. And in the right, in the upper right, you can see you can see the scale X, Y, Z. See it on the upper left. You see scale X 0.7859, Y is 0.7859, and Z is 0.7859. So this is making it smaller. So if I move it above like that, it's making it bigger. You can see 1.249, Y is 1.2497, Z is 1.2497 in the left upper corner. You can see it. So basically, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller like that. So if I press it, I leave it. You can also see here in the left bottom corner, you can also see resize. So if you expand these properties, it will show you what you did previously. You resize it, you use the scale, and this is the values of the X, Y, and Z scale. So we can also manually type it. So if I want it to 0.9 and this is also 0.9, so it will change and we just type the dimensions, and if you just right click it, it will disappear, and when it's disappear, it's not possible for us to re-enter these values. Okay, so we change the scale of this face, then again face is selected, selection mode is face, and the scale is selected. We selected this other side, and same way this white circle, this bigger circle, we can click on it and then drag your mouse to resize, rescale this face. And how much we are going to use it? Same 0.9, 0.9, and also 0.9. So we type 0.9 three times. So let me change everything. And if we want to type one time and we want to change all of these values, we just click here like that. You see your mouse is converted like that. Just drag all of these values by clicking on it. So when you move your mouse, it will be converted to like that. Now press the left button and drag your mouse to these three values, and 0.9, it will change all the values, and press OK. And next I am going to select. So now we are going to select this tool, the edge tool, and I am going to select this edge. So you can see it's selecting, it's also scale tool is also selected, but just deactivate this tool by clicking on the select. And now we want to select all of these edges in the middle. So press the shift on your keyboard and select this edge. Now we needed to rotate the model, go to the X and then drag it by clicking the left and then shift, select this one. Now we needed to see the bottom. So just select this X and move it above, so you can see this bottom edge, and select this edge. Now you can move it like that, zoom in like that, pan it like that. Okay, now we needed to scale this edge. So select the scale tool and then on this circle left click and drag it like that, just a little bit of the value. So now you can see what we achieve. We achieve this thing. So now if you see it, you may think it's not this hammer, but basically we did not add the texture, we did not add the colors and everything. In this tutorial, I am just going to talk about the modeling tool. In the coming videos, we are going to use these texture, the assign the materials and everything. Okay, so this is the second hammer. So this cube I am going to, so this is the second hammer. Okay, now again trying to find another hammer, just simple hammer. We are not going to do something very complex. In the coming videos we will do it complex modeling, but for this one, okay, this one is good. Okay, so now our 3D cursor is here. If we add the object will be added in the location of 3D cursor. So we want to change this 3D cursor. So click here on this 3D cursor and select here. So then just drag it and here go to add and add the mesh. And now we are going to use the cylinder. So when you click here on the cylinder will add it, and you can also see the in the left corner you can also see the properties of this cylinder. It has the 32 vertices, radius 1. We can also increase and decrease the radius. We can also change the length like that, and the n-gon, if you want nothing, the top will disappear. And if we select the n-gon, we will have the top with this cylinder. And here the locations, we can also change the location XYZ, and we can also use the rotation. So for this hammer, we want to place the x0, and but we want to rotate it in the y direction. So if we change the y and make it 90, so we will have this cylinder like that. Okay, make the selection. Okay, so here we have this cylinder. So in the tool bar, you can see we can also move this one. If we select the move tool, we can also change the location of this. Simply, we use the move in the edit mode, but here we are not changing the shape. We are just moving this object, and we can also rotate it like that. There are these controller which we can use to rotate it. Okay. And we also have the scale tool. If we selected the scale in the object mode, we can also change the scale the same way we do it in the edit mode, but here we are using it for the whole of the object, and we can also transform and the other options. So just make this selection. Okay, so for this hammer we have the mhm. So this is this hammer. Okay, so this is the simple shape. We just have the cube. These are the cubes, and here we have just a cylinder. So basically we want to do it in the object mode, and select the scale, and here we are going to use the X to make it like that. Okay, and this is the simple shape of this hammer. Okay, so basically which tools we use: move tool, scale tool, loop cut. These tools we used to model these three metal part of the hammers in this video. So basically this is the day one tutorial for the Blender, and if I give you some tips like how you can learn the Blender in a good way. In the YouTube, the tutorials are not managed in a good way. So basically, when you see a tutorial, the tutorial has like some parts. They are modeling or design, and they are also animating a design. They are modeling a design, and then they are adding the texture. They are adding a they are modeling a model, and then they are also making the animation, or the assigning the material, or adding some effect. So when you see different tutorials in a not in a arranged manner, you will get confused a little bit. So for me and for my suggestion, first try to start like spend some days only on the modeling tutorials. Like first 10 days only try modeling, and then next 10 days try to do modeling and animation, or modeling next 10 day for modeling and materials. So in the Blender, like you see here, let's talk something general about the interface. So here you can see layout, modeling tools, sculpting, UV editor, texture paint, shading, animation, rendering, geometry nodes. So, and there you can see different working environment. So, the meaning of my suggestion is that just spend 10 or 15 days in the modeling. So, just watch the tutorials which are related to modeling. Don't watch the tutorial related to the texture or the other things. It will the make you confused. So, and the other thing is that when you spend 10 or 20 days on the modeling, you will learn like a lot of different things, different tools, and the things will get easy for you. You will become familiar with the workflow of this software, the Blender. And the Blender has a lot of features, lot of command, and if you watch the tutorials in a uh, unmanner way, you will like things will get difficult for you, and maybe you think you are spending a time but you are not learning it. But if you learn in a arranged manner, you will first start the modeling tutorials, and try to watch the tutorials which are related to the object modeling, like we did this for the hammer. Don't watch most of the tutorial related to the character. So if you watch like a lot of tutorials related to character modeling is a little bit difficult. So try to avoid tutorials for object modeling. Characters are a little bit difficult. So if you spend some time with the object modeling, you will get familiar with these tools, with the tools of the in the edit mode. We have different tools. When you get familiar with these tools, it will be easy for you mm, to work and design a character. So spend some time with the object modeling and then move to the character modeling or the environment modeling or the interior modeling. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to end the video, and in the next tutorial, we will start an object and we will design two or three different shape of the same object. Thank you so much.